see, the two-state solution is something that the left parties in Israel, like the Labour Party and other parties, were talking for many years. And it didn't start in Oslo, in the negotiation in 1993. It started before because the leaders of the left side, the left parties in Israel, realized that we are living in a place that two nations are fighting for their identity, national identity. This is the Palestinian state and the Jewish state. And the problem is that we cannot ignore the fact that there are Palestinians in Israel. So for many years, the right side of the Israeli political man said that this country belongs to us. As a matter of fact, I do believe that Israel belongs to the Jews, because I'm a Jew. However, we cannot ignore the situation on the ground. On the ground, when the Zionism was created in the latest 19th century, in the early 20th century, the Palestinians lived in Israel. They didn't have a country. They were not called, they didn't have then maybe inspiration like they have now, but they stayed there. They refused to accept the declaration in 47 from Kaftet November, it's 29th of November, the resolution of the UN that divided the country into two states. They refused to do it. By the way, also in the Arab countries they refused it. We accepted it, and the war started. And many Palestinian refugees left the country, but nevertheless, they are still there. After the 67 war, we didn't have any other choice, by the way. So we didn't want to occupy the West Bank that belonged to the Jordanians, but the Jordanians made a very big mistake, and they invaded to Israel. They started the war, which we didn't want it, by the way. And we didn't have any other choice, so we had to occupy the West Bank, which was not an occupation because we didn't intend to do it. But the situation is that now in Israel, between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, there are two nations fighting for their identity. So for many years, some part of the Israeli leaders and public didn't want to realize that we have to deal with the Palestinians. That there is no way for Israel to be secured, and I'm talking security here, unless there will be some kind of a solution for the Palestinians in inspiration. I'm glad to say that over the years, even the people that belong to the right side of the political map did understand and did realize that there will not be a solution for our problem in Israel unless there will be a Palestinian state. And that this is an Israeli interest to create a Palestinian state. This was not easy for the right wing, but you cannot ignore the facts on the ground. And I must say, since you are going to host AIPAC people next something,
in a couple of
I'm very happy to say that 2 years ago, when I was speaking in the Congress and with a Florida congresswoman, and I said what I said, she said, but AIPAC people were here a few days ago, and they sounded exactly like you. And I said, oh, finally, they speak exactly like me. Because they realized, I worked with it very hard. Because also, the people that belong to the center and to the right realize that there is no other solution. And this is the truth. Even the Prime Minister of Israel that doesn't belong to J Street, and he is a Likud member, he was born to a Likud family. He declared in the famous Bar Ilan speech that he is in favor of a two-state solution. And because, you see, I have a very good friend. She belongs to a center-right-wing party. And she said to me the other day, before she heard that I'm coming to speak to you, you see, the only difference between the two of us is that we do believe, both of us, that this two-state solution is the only solution. However, I am doing it because I don't have any other choice. Because this is the only solution for the state of Israel. And you are doing it because you think that they also deserve a state of their own. And I'm sorry to say, which I told her, I'm doing it first of all because I'm concerned for the future of the state of Israel. This is my main concern. Because otherwise, let's explore a little bit the alternative.